watching now. What we're going to use the digital object for is to create a foldable whose design originates from Dinah Zike for the parts of speech. Now, by using this digital learning object, this will make your lesson go smoother because the children respond to visuals and they cannot stop the video to ask questions. Miss, how do you do that again? No, wait, I'm not ready. By doing this, the kids know they have to be on task, and they do. I've tested it, and this works. Also, because you're not physically demonstrating in front of the classroom how to make this object, you can walk around and help each individual student that does need that extra attention. So, included is a PowerPoint going over the parts of speech that they can actually put inside of their foldable, and the digital learning object just pertains on creation of the foldable itself. I hope this is helpful. Enjoy.
Okay, so today we're going to make a foldable for the parts of speech. Let's start with how to make the foldable. You should have your yellow sheet of paper in front of you, upright, as if you were going to write on it. So, yes, mine is white, but yours will be yellow. They're the same size, so don't panic. You're going to fold your sheet of paper in half like a hamburger. And you're going to unfold it. Now you're going to make two more hamburger folds. You're going to take each side and fold it to that center crease you just made so that you make shutters. See? So I've just folded one half of the paper in half. Turn it around and do the same thing. Fold a hamburger fold to the center of the page. The two sides don't have to meet perfectly, but as close to the center as you can. A little space is fine because we want these to be able to open up. So you definitely don't want them to overlap, because if they overlap, it'll be really hard to open them. So make sure they just meet in the center. Should look like this. Two flaps. Okay, once you have your two flaps, I want you to turn your paper around so that it's tall and skinny. And now you're going to make another hamburger fold in half. While it's still folded in half, we're going to fold it in half again. Another hamburger fold. Now you will unfold your piece of paper and you should have 8 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. You're now going to open up one of your flaps. And while keeping the other shutter closed, you're going to use your pen to make a line down the center of the paper. The reason we're keeping this shutter closed is because it's going to act as our ruler. So we're going to use the edge of this piece as a ruler to mark down the center of our page. Now it's okay if your line isn't perfectly straight. Mine's a little wobbly. And see, when you open it up, you have a line down the center of your page. Alright, now we're going to get the scissors out and we're going to start cutting. Pay careful attention here because you're not going to cut all of the paper. You are just going to cut the creased line on the flap. So, starting on one side and one side only, don't move ahead to the next side, you're going to cut along these creased lines only to this folded line here. Do not cut past there because we're making flaps. And if you cut all the way, you're going to cut strips instead of flaps. See here? A flap. Okay, continue cutting on that side. only to the line. And one more cut because there's one more crease. Only to the line. Now once you've made all of your cuts on that side, you are going to open up the top flap, get out your pen, and using the flap underneath as a ruler, you're going to draw a line on the inside of the paper. You'll see that that makes a box. Okay, and you're going to repeat that step with the next one. Open up the second flap, hold the third flap down, and draw a line. Again, it's okay if your lines aren't straight. These are just going to be guidelines. And with the last flap, keep that one closed and use it as a guide to draw your line. So you should now have 3 lines which make 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 flaps. We're going to repeat that on the other side. So get out your scissors again. Cut only along the creased line to the fold, not past the fold, so that we have flaps. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here. Open up that top flap, hold down the second flap, and use it as a guideline. Okay, now you may have noticed that my lines don't necessarily meet up, and that's perfectly fine. It's just to help us decide where to stop writing in the boxes. Okay? So now we have our 8-flap foldable. And it should look just like this when it's closed. And like this when it's open. And we will stop here for now